निमिनन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथामयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सकजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, last time we covered 41st verse of this chapter, second chapter, contents of the Gita summarized. And today we will see 42nd and 43rd verse.
ये ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल है क्या?
अभी हाँ, मतलब बाद में इसको पोस्ट कर देंगे।
ओके माता जी।
अभी आप मतलब अवेलेबल हो तो सुनने के लिए कि
हाँ, अभी मैं सुनने के लिए अवेलेबल हूँ।
ओके। हाँ, किसी और डिवाइस से एक्चुअली मैं वो रिकॉर्ड कर रही हूँ ना, इसीलिए इसमें वीडियो भी नहीं ऑन किया है बिकॉज़ मोबाइल इधर उधर मैं शिफ्ट करती रहती हूँ कभी कभी ना।
कोई बात नहीं माता जी, नो प्रॉब्लम।
Okay, thank you. So 42nd, 43rd verse, Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, contents of the Gita summarized. Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipashchita vedavadarata partha nanyat astitivadina kamatmanah sargapara जन्म कर्म फल प्रदाम क्रिया विशेष बहुलाम भोगैश्वर्य गतिम प्रति. Word to word meaning. Imam, all these, pushpitam, flowery, vacham, words, pravadanti, say, avipashchita, men with a poor fund of knowledge, vedavada rata, supposed followers of the Vedas, Partha, O son of Pritha, no, never, anyat, everything else, asti, there is, iti, thus, vadina, the advocates, kamak atmana, desirous of sense gratification, Swarga Para, aiming to achieve heavenly planets, Janma Karma Phala Pradam, resulting in good birth and other fruitive reactions, Kriya Vishesha, pompous ceremonies, Bahulam, various Bhoga, in sense enjoyment, Aishwarya and opulence, Gatim, progress, Prati, towards. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Men of small knowledge, men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification, opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. So Krishna is the In the previous verse, we saw how Krishna mentioned that those who are on this path of devotional life, they have to be very determined in their purpose. And Prabhupada was mentioning about strong faith, that if I'm one should have strong faith that if I'm executing, or if I'm following the path of Krishna consciousness, I'm executing doing activities in Krishna consciousness, then that's all I need. That's all in all. So that strong faith, a determination one should have. And here, Prabhupada, Krishna is mentioning that men of small knowledge are so sometimes we see people are very much attached to the in the Vedic scriptures actually. What is mentioned, they Krishna is very kind to everyone. Vedas are given by the Lord. So Krishna does not exclude any kind of living entity. For example, some people can are in that consciousness, in that state, that they can accept the process of bhakti, because they are in the mode of goodness, or whereas some people may be in the grossly in the mode of ignorance or passion, and they cannot actually take to the bhakti process directly. So Krishna does not exclude such kind of people. So in the scriptures, actually, there are different in the Vedas. There are different sections for those in the mode of ignorance, for those in the mode of passion, and for those in the mode of goodness. And then there are some transcendental literature specifically for those who are beyond the mode of goodness, that is pure goodness or Shuddha Sattva, that is uh, those who are if like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they are beyond goodness, they are beyond, like there are Rajoguna, Tamaguna, and Tamaguna, Rajaguna, and Sattva, and then Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, these are beyond. These are Shuddha Sattva level, transcendental level, spiritual level. So Krishna is mentioning men of small knowledge are very much attached to flowery words of Vedas. So those who have no idea about spiritual life, an ordinary person, might be very much attached to, okay, Vedas mention if you want this, you do this kind of sacrifice, if you want this, you do this kind of austerity. So they are very much attached to these these part of the Vedic scriptures, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification, opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. These are grossly who are wanting to enjoy material sense gratification. So they cannot understand the actual purpose of the Vedas. So, anyways, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning people in general are not very intelligent, and due to their ignorance, they are most attached to the fruitive activities recommended in the Karmakanda portions of the Vedas. They do not what is Karmakanda? Karmakanda is like, um, if somebody wants a particular material thing, if somebody wants good health, they are recommended to worship a particular demigod. They want a good wife, they are recommended to worship some particular demigod, or do some particular puja, whatever. So these are all kind of karma kanda things. Means if you want some material benefit, you do some kind of follow certain rules regulations, so you can get it, huh? So why it is actually a trick, that at least people who cannot take to the higher principles of bhakti, they follow at least something from the scriptures. So they are so much attached to material sense gratification that they will be like, oh, I want this, so I will follow this sacrifice or austerity, I will get it. So at least they will follow certain part of scriptures and they will get purified. So in that sense, they will actually progress little by little, though it may take many many lifetimes for them, but at least they will progress to some extent. At least they are following something from the scriptures. So in that sense, they are in one sense tricked. They do not want anything more than sense gratificatory proposals for enjoying life in heaven, where wine and women are available and material opulence is very common. In the Vedas, many sacrifices are recommended for elevation to the heavenly planets, especially the Jyotishtama sacrifices. In fact, it is stated that anyone desiring elevation to heavenly planets must perform these sacrifices, and men with a poor fund of knowledge think that this is the whole purpose of the Vedic wisdom. It is very difficult for such inexperienced persons to be situated in the determined action of Krishna consciousness. As fools are attached to the flowers of the poisonous trees without knowing the results of such attractions, unenlightened men are similarly attracted by such heavenly opulence and the sense enjoyment thereof. So, what is Prabhupada is mentioning? So, he's giving an example that those who want to go to the heavenly planets, they are recommended to perform certain sacrifice like Jyotishtama sacrifices and so on. And people have so much poor fund of knowledge that they don't understand that Vishnu, I mean the Vedas actually directing to come to the point of worshipping Vishnu or Krishna. But they do not understand and they get caught up in these sections of the Vedas which is recommending to perform XYZ sacrifices for material things. And those who are so much attached to sense gratification, it is very very difficult for them to come to the point of understanding or practicing bhakti. And Prabhupada gives an example that sometimes a fool, in there are certain plants in which the fruits or those flowers are actually poisonous. So if a child is like foolish, they may not know. I mean, they do not know, so they may just try to play with that flower or the fruit, but actually it is poisonous. A wise person will know. Similarly, those who are fools, they are attracted to these flowery words um, of the scriptures. And in the sense, why flowery words? Because the point is, even if they may perform some sacrifice, they may get a higher birth or a heavenly planet in their next life. But still, the problems of what are the problems of life? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, birth, death, old age, disease. You have somebody may take so much struggle to go to the heavenly planet, but there also they have to suffer birth, death, old age, disease. So, wise person will think, I did so much struggle to come to this heavenly planet, and here also I need to suffer. Here also demigods are also always attacked by the demons. They are also suffering. Everyone is suffering. So what is the use of my performing so much austerity to come here? So wise person will try to find out if there is a place where I can perform similar austerity, but go to that place where there is no problem. There is no birth, death, old age, disease. And that is where we come to the point of this Krishna consciousness. Because by practice of Krishna consciousness and making our life perfect, becoming a pure devotee, we can go. Krishna promises that we can go to a place that is the spiritual world where there is no Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. You need not struggle for existence of life in like we do in this material world. In the spiritual world, there is no struggle. There is only enjoyment along with the with the pastimes of the Lord and so on. So coming back to the purport, in the Karmakanda section of the Vedas, it is said apama somam amrita abhuma and akshayam ha vai chaturmasya yajina sukrutam bhavati. In other words, those who perform the 4-month penances become eligible to drink the Somarasa beverage to become immortal and happy forever. Even on this earth, some are very eager to have somarasa to become strong and fit to enjoy sense gratifications. Such persons have no faith in liberation from material bondage and they are very much attached to the pompous ceremonies of Vedic sacrifices. They are generally sensual and they do not want anything other than the heavenly pleasures of life. It is understood that there are gardens like Nandan Kanan in which there is a good opportunity for association with angelic beautiful women and having a profuse supply of somarasa wine. Such bodily happiness is certainly essential. Therefore, there are those who are purely attached to such material temporary happiness as lords of the material world. So, Prabhupada is giving little understanding of in this heavenly planet that is more, what do you say, facility for material enjoyment. Because in higher planetary systems, there is more facility for material enjoyment, like drinking this somarasa and association with women and so on. And people are very much bewildered by all these things, and they are more interested in these sections of the scriptures which recommend them to do certain sacrifice to go to the higher planetary systems in their next life. 44th verse भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधाव न विधीयते. Bhoga, or to material enjoyment, Aishwarya and opulence, prasaktanam, of those who are attached taya by such things, apaharita chetasam, bewildered in mind, vyavasaya atmika, fixed in determination, buddhi, devotional service to the Lord, samadhav, in the controlled mind, na never, vidiyate, does take place. Translation purport by Jivanvi Shri Prabhupada. Bhakti Jai. In the minds of those who are attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. So, Krishna himself is saying that those who are so much attached to gratifying their senses, Indriya Tripti, what we say in Hindi, those are too much attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence. For them, it is very difficult to be determined in devotional service. It's very difficult to practice to determine in a fixed manner practice devotional service to the Lord. Purport: Samadhi means fixed mind. The Vedic dictionary, the Nirukti, says Samyag adhiyate asmin atma tattva yathatmyam. When the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is said to be in samadhi. Samadhi is never possible for persons interested in material sense enjoyments and bewildered by such temporary things. They are more or less condemned by the process of material energy. So one cannot, samadhi does not mean like in meditation part they mention about sitting in a particular posture and meditating on something. No, that is not samadhi as per. For the present age, samadhi is actually being absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Just like the pure devotees, they are so much absorbed in devotional activities, chanting, hearing, or preaching, cooking for Krishna, and so on. So these are all they are actually said to be in samadhi. Why? Because they are fixed, they are very much absorbed in serving Krishna. That is samadhi. So it is not possible for those who are attached to material things and wanting to enjoy material things. 45th verse. I am not very sure if you have Bhagavad Gita right now or not. That's why I'm reading. But generally, we ask everyone to read one shlokas. So maybe next time you can have it open in your mobile or something. And okay, so
Okay, Mataji.
45th verse. त्रैगुण्य विषया वेद निश्चैगुण्य भवार्जुन निर्द्वंदो नित्यसत्त्वस्थो निर्योग क्षेम आत्मवान. Traigunya, pertaining to the three modes of material nature, Vishaya, on the subject matter, Veda, Vedic literatures, Nisthay Gunya, Transcendental to three modes of material nature, bhava, be, Arjuna, O Arjuna, nirdvanda, without duality, nitya sattvastha, in a pure state of spiritual existence, niryoga shema, free from ideas of gain and protection, atmavan, established in the self. Translation: the Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes, be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. So, Krishna mentions what is there in most part of the Vedic scriptures and what part of the Vedic scriptures specifically people are more inclined to. And then he's saying Arjuna that okay, you rise beyond these beyond these sections of the Vedas, become transcendental to these three modes. What are the three modes? Rajoguna, beginning with let's say mode of ignorance, tamogun, rajagun, sattvagun. So goodness also is not very goodness is better than mode of ignorance and passion, but it also binds us to a feeling of being satisfied, no being feeling happy. Oh, I'm a very good pious person. That pride comes and so on. So one has to rise beyond even goodness, come to the state of Shuddha Sattva or pure goodness, which is transcendental platform. So, okay, purport. All material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature. They are meant for fruitive results which cause bondage in the material world. Hmm. All material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes. Okay, whatever we do in this material world, um, it is actually we are bound by karma chakra. Whatever activity, material activity, if we whatever activity we do which is not related to Krishna, which is not related to, which does not come under devotional service, then we are sure to get reactions to it, bad or good or bad reactions. They are meant for fruitive results which cause bondage in the material world. That means even we are alive, I'm breathing. Just by breathing, I'm inhaling so many microorganisms and they are being killed. So I'm going to, just by being alive, I'm going to get reaction to this activity of mine, because I'm killing so many microorganisms. By my inhaling, I'm going to get a reaction for it. So we can understand how stringent, just by being alive, we are bound by the by karma chakra, by action reaction cycle. So wise man will think, is there a way to get out of it? I mean, just I'm alive and I'm just creating it. There's no, uh, I mean, I have to inhale. So by being alive, if I'm just getting caught up in this karma chakra, is there any way that I can get out of it actually? So what is the way? We will see that. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position of the transcendental platform. Arjuna, as a student and friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of the Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jigyasa or questions on the supreme transcendence. So Krishna himself is advising Arjuna of what? Okay, you rise beyond these flowery words of the scriptures and come to the platform of come to a transcendental platform. All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of the material entanglement. When we buy a machine, let's say you are buying a washing machine, you get a manual with it, how to operate that particular machine. So, Bhagavad Gita is also a manual for human life. We have got a human body. So, along with that, how to utilize this human body. For understanding that, Krishna has given this Bhagavad Gita actually. When the Mm, after creation, okay. Gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of material entanglement. Okay. When the activities for sense gratification, namely the Karma Kanda chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered in the form of Upanishads, which are part of different Vedas, as a Bhagavad Gita is a part of the fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life. Just as we were discussing that the Vedic scriptures, they have different categories. There are scriptures which are meant for those in the mode of ignorance. So there are minimum certain rules regulations they have to follow, because they cannot take to bhakti process directly. So something, at least something they can follow. Then there are higher to that is those scriptures which are for those in the mode of passion, and then for those who are in the mode of goodness, and then these transcendental scriptures come into picture. As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes, because our body is made of what, earth, water, fire, ether, so material elements. So it is under the control of the material, of these material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities, such as happiness and distress, or cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities become free from anxieties regarding pain and loss, gain and loss. This transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. So, just like in the second chapter, 14th verse, Krishna says, Mata Sparshas tu Kuntya Sitoshna Sukha Dukha the Agma Paina Nityas Tam Titikshasha Bharata. He's saying, Arjuna, that all these, happiness, distress, these dualities, heat and cold, all these will be there in this material world. So, you must learn to tolerate them without getting disturbed. But is it possible really? Yes, it is possible, but only when we are Krishna conscious. Because a Krishna conscious person, he understands, he has realized that, okay, all these dualities, this is nature of this material world. It is supposed, it will be there. So there is nothing for me to be disturbed. Rather, I should just carry on with my Krishna consciousness, because he knows that the more he is fixed in his Krishna consciousness, the more he is making his way for going back to Godhead. He's progressing in that path of going back to Godhead. So he's not very much disturbed by all the dualities in the material world. So, um, yes. So he understands that we can actually come out of this cycle of karma chakra, actions and reactions, only when we are Krishna conscious. Why? Because we will see in the last chapter, 18th chapter, 66th verse, Krishna mentions that you just surrender unto me. Give up all varieties of religion and everything. Huh? You just surrender unto me, and I'll take care of you. I'll free you from all sinful reactions. So Krishna is promising. In many places also we will see he's promising. He says to Arjuna to declare to the whole world that, declare boldly, O Arjuna, that my devotee will never perish. So first of all, we have to do our part. What is our part? We have to become a devotee of the Lord. We cannot think that, okay, I'm just chanting some rounds and taking prasadam, so I have become a devotee. No, devotee, the bhakta is a very high platform. We have to become pure. We have to become so pure that we have so many anarthas right now. We are just practicing to be devotees. So when we actually become devotees, then all these things will be actually revealed to us. Those who have unflinching faith on the words of Guru and Krishna, this transcendental knowledge gets revealed to them. Uh, that is what is mentioned. So we will stop here. We completed till 45th verse. Okay, 45th verse today. If anybody has, I see Paramamrita Mataji also joined. Thank you, Mataji, for joining. So, if anybody has any points that you want to share, which you got to know for the first time today in this discussion, or you have any questions, then please feel free to ask. English or Hindi, whatever is convenient for you. Anjali Mataji, do you have anything to say?
Yes,
There is some disturbance. Are you using earphones? Because the voice is not clear. There's disturbance because of the earphones.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, now it is good.
अब माता जी आपने जो बताया अभी कि मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में ये दो डुअलिटीज हैं कि हमेशा रहती है, तो ये चीज़ मुझे काफ़ी अच्छी लगी क्योंकि ये चीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट करती है, मुझे तो करती है पर्सनली कि ठंड है और बहुत गर्मी है, तो इस चीज़ की वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा डिस्टर्बेंस होता है।
हाँ जी, सो यस, आप पॉइंट शेयर कर रहे हो, है ना?
हाँ जी माता जी।
तो यस, इट इज़ ट्रू कि हाँ, मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में ये डुअलिटीज़ जो है ये हमेशा रहेंगी ही, और हम इन चीज़ों से अगर डिस्टर्ब हो जाए तो हम अपनी भक्ति में भी मतलब विल बी, आई मीन एग्जीक्यूट नहीं कर सकते। एक्चुअली उस वाले श्लोका जो 2.14 है, वहाँ पे प्रभुपाद ने एक एग्जाम्पल भी दिया है कि जो गर्मी का टाइम होता है, जून जुलाई के आसपास, है ना, तो उस टाइम जो लेडीज़ होती हैं घर पे, वो ऐसा नहीं बोलते कि हाँ मैं तो इतनी गर्मी है और मैं कुकिंग करूँगी ही नहीं घर के लिए, है ना, मैं कुकिंग ही नहीं करूँगी, ऐसा नहीं बोलते। गर्मी में भी वो लोग कुकिंग करते हैं, हाँ, वो जो गर्मी को बॉदर किए बिना। सिमिलरली जो जनवरी फरवरी जब बहुत ठंड होती है, जो स्पिरिचुअल सीकर्स होते हैं या जो रिलीजियस प्रिंसिपल, लेट्स से जैसे जो रिलीजियस होते हैं, वो लोग सुबह वो वैसे ही नहा धो के अच्छे से क्लीन होके अपना काम करते हैं। हाँ, तो उसी तरह जो डिवोटी होता है वो मटेरियल सर्कमस्टेंसेस से ज़्यादा अफेक्ट हुए बिना अपने कृष्ण कॉन्शियस एक्टिविटीज़ में हमेशा लगा रहता है। सो दैट इज़ प्रपाद उस वाले श्लोका में एक्चुअली मेंशन करते हैं पर्पट में। सो यस, थैंक यू सो मच माता जी शेयर करने के लिए। Paramamrita Mataji, do you have anything to say? I think अभी आप ऑफिस में हैं अभी आप? अच्छा, ओके। ओके, आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड ऑफिस में डिफ़िकल्ट होता है, बट आई अप्रिशिएट कि आपने ज्वाइन किया, सो थैंक यू फॉर दैट। सो ओके, हम आज क्लोज करते हैं। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। राजू विद्या श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। हरे कृष्णा, थैंक यू एवरीवन।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्णा।